Now, we spoke about the most amazing, experience. What would you call, the most amazing person on stage?
Wow. The most amazing person on stage. I would have to say, I don't think I've ever had one most amazing. I've had dozens.
But if you were to pick one out.
Like a name? Well, I'm not sure.
Like someone who did something like like you said, you've never imagined that you could do that a person would ever do that,
Well, like just that show I talked about a couple of weeks ago, the kid did a freestanding backflip. But I had a show the other night. Taylor Swift is kind of a famous country singer here, and she also has moved into the pop realm, and she's still pretty popular with young people. However, I found that I had a guy, and I always have a guy become a female singer, or females become male singers. It adds to it. But anyway, I had a guy become Taylor Swift and do Shake It Off. All right. Well, I have the other people on stage. It wasn't a very big stage, so I couldn't have them stand up and dance, which I normally did. So I said, okay, people, when you open up your eyes, you're not going to be able to get off your chairs. They opened up their eyes and said, now what? You have a chance to win a backup contract with Taylor Swift. I want to see the most unique, different, creative face you can make. And everybody, now I want to see the most unique, different way you can move your body when you're making that face. So, so the entire show, they were dancing on their chairs, doing those types of things, right? And then another guy, and I wasn't sure if Taylor was going to nail it. So I'd seen another guy on stage that was very much into things. So I said, and most people now just don't know this, but Taylor Swift has a twin sister, Tyler. And they haven't seen each other for a long time. Well, I had this guy come out and become Tyler Swift, and I mean, he absolutely nailed it. Just nailed it. Well, it also made Taylor look really good. Taylor got into it. So now my new thing is when I do a singer on stage, I'll have 2 or 3 of them that are twins or triplets. One of them's going to nail it. All you need is one to nail it. If you pick the wrong person, it takes away from the entertainment value. This person helped move me into a new way of thinking how to make every single concert a great lip sync. So yeah, I'd have to say that person taught me a lot.
All right, now, a turn to the opposite direction. What is the worst show you've ever had? There you go.
The worst show I ever had.
Well, not show, but as an experience from your end, not from the participants' end, of course. If there is such a situation.
Well, there was, and it was recently. And the only time I have a bad show that I really worry about and lose my time is if I'm not sure about the sound and the technical. Oh, and I walked into a situation that there's a very experienced sound person who had set up the sound, but it wasn't the way I needed it, and he couldn't understand my needs. So he wouldn't move the sound. Even though he's giving me, hey, now if I had gone to the promoter and said, look, this show isn't going to be as good because of this, I should have done that, because during the show I have a sound tech with me. I had to get my sound tech to move the speakers. And then during the entire show, this guy was tweaking the sound, and it was squealing and screaming. And I mean, I had to do a lot to keep the show together. Plus my timing was thrown off a bit because I hadn't taken the time to find a way to make it work. And I couldn't make it work with the way it was. So it was a very difficult show. I couldn't make it work. So I had to make some changes during it. Yeah. And the promoter, well, they already booked me for next year, but I can guarantee you next year when I go there, I'm going to do something different with the sound.